sorry. Let's start with the advantages of freelancing,
Yeah.
and why it is so great to be an online freelancer.
Yeah.
First off, you get to work from cafes like this one. You get to create your own schedule, so you get a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you're productive in the afternoon, you're not forced to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I get to hear some background noises.
There is a little background noise.
Yeah, fix that.
Maybe we can clean it up later.
Hmm. Yeah, so you get to work from wherever you want, whenever you want, whenever you are productive. You get to create your own price and set your own price, and
Mm.
that's a lot better than just getting a monthly paycheck. You get to meet other people who work remotely. Um, you get a lot of access to tools that increase your productivity. Um, you get to learn on the go, so that's also good because this means you're never um, just focusing on doing what you're told. You're actually your own boss. You have to be your own boss, your own manager, your own employee, your own accountant, your own lawyer if it's necessary. So you get to be all those people in one person. And with freedom comes responsibility. So you're also responsible for your activity as a freelancer. You get to choose the clients you want to work with, the projects you want to get involved in, um, the networks you want to be surrounded by, and basically, at a higher level, you get to become the client as well. When you move to starting your own thing with a team and you coordinate them and you get more clients, um, you can actually start working with other freelancers. So overall, that's a great thing about freelancing. And
Rosanna, I have a question. May I?
yeah,
When you say with freedom it comes a big responsibility, I definitely agree. I like the fact that you say you set up your own schedule. The point is, I think that organizing it by yourself, so being on your own, this means also that uh, you are always in the office on the other side of the coin. So you can take work wherever you want. You work from wherever you like, but still, this might be very dangerous because on the other side, you always in the office. The office is always with you. So,
yeah.
what do you think about that? How do you manage it? How do you understand when it is time to stop?
This is where the managing part kicks in when you become your own project manager. So you know what needs to be done. You create your own work tasks, and then at one point you need to take a break. It's hard to say no, especially when you start building a good profile, and clients start pitching you, and you have a lot of work opportunities. But it's really important to learn to take a break once in a while. What I do, for example, is I have this tiny timer. It's a baby owl of 60 minutes. So I can set it in a way that every 60 minutes the owl would ring a bell. And that's a sign for me that I should take a 10 minutes break. Um, I also try not to work more than 6 hours a day because you cannot get more productive than this. So I would rather work on a Saturday and not overwork myself during Monday to Friday. and still have my free time. Just close the laptop, go outside, drink a beer with your friends, go do jogging in the park, um, let go of all the devices. Make sure you have hobbies that do not involve your computer, your smartphone, or your laptop, your tablet. So make sure you have things that connect you to the outside world because you need to take a break once in a while. Otherwise, you reach burnout, and that's not freelancing. Is the freedom to have the life you want. You do not want to have burnout in your life.
Yeah. Also, there is one more question I have about the learning part. As you said, it is an ongoing learning. It is basically learning all the time. And when you are in a corporate environment, there is your boss that plan your trainings, and you just have to attend and learn what you are told it is right for you to learn. But when you are a freelancer, you need to learn first much more, because you need to learn, as you were saying, a lot of part of your job, the accounting part, the legal part. Even if you are not necessarily dealing with them directly, you still need to deal with the professionals. And so you need to develop some competencies. But still, you learn a lot. You have to develop your competencies on the way you produce your output. So it is. I'm wondering, how do you organize your trainings? How do you plan your what to learn?
Okay, so you need to dedicate at least 2 hours a day in learning new things, and the easiest way to do it is just by Googling it. So you stumble upon a problem, you troubleshoot, you Google, you find solutions because at least in this current stage, you have a lot of online resources. People have been there before you. We are millions of freelancers worldwide, so I'm not the only person who has this trouble, this issue. So if I look for it in forums, in communities, on other websites, I might get um, I might get a solution to my problem. And also, the advantage here with freelancing is that you get to do a lot of things. You usually you don't focus on just one skill. You combine more skills. The more skills you combine, the bigger the knowledge area becomes. So you can always you always have a reason to document and to discover new things, to find out more. And ideally, you dedicate an hour or two per day in this section because it's related to you. It's an investment you make in yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so let's move to the client part.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you have built your profile, your portfolio, everything is set. So the next step is to find clients because in the beginning, you will be the one doing the outreach. You will be finding the clients. The clients will not be the ones finding you and inviting you to projects, unless you're really lucky. But usually, you have to look for your own clients. And this gives you the freedom to search for the projects you like and to investigate your clients, look in their history, look in their testimonials, see what other freelancers say about that client, the work experience, on average how much the client can afford to pay per hour, etc. And his history on a platform, of course. That's the benefit of a freelancing platform. And then you get protection for payments. So that's another huge benefit. So let's say I'm a designer and I want to look for projects in design. Then I'm going to search for projects that include my skill, designer, I don't know, Illustrator, Photoshop, anything. Um, and I'm going to write to the client a proposal. So if our client's name is John, um, I will write to John. I will say hi there or hi John. Um, Thank you for this opportunity. I'm pretty much interested and I would like to learn more about this project. This means I'm showing the client that I'm interested in his project, and I open the call to action. Then I continue by saying that I understand the project description and I've read it. If the client asks additional questions in the project description, I will answer them as a short interview. If not, I will just use some empathy techniques to get closer to the client. It would be like, I understand that for this project you need this and this and that. And for example, if you're a designer, you could use the psychology of colors and say about that you're aware of the emotional triggers a design can have on visitors on your website, how it reflects the brand, and so on. The idea is to get the client to notice that you know a bit more than what he specified in the project description. Then you could say that your skills include this, and that. Invite him to check your portfolio either on the platform or on your website and ask for more details and invite him to a follow-up session on usually on Skype. Do not share the Skype ID at first. Just invite him. Maybe we could have a conversation on Skype. Looking forward or best regards, and you sign yourself. And then, if the client is interested, he will follow up and ask you about your Skype ID. You'll give it to him. You'll record the Skype conversation or the writing session or the chat and upload it in the discussion on the platform. Um, you'd want to to have a video call with your client so they see your face or at least hear your voice. So they learn more about the person behind the name. This would help you to get closer to building a good business relationship. And then you talk about try to find out more about your client, how he is as a person. See if you two have common areas, common points, and build on that foundation. Um, you could also tell them that you could offer them a small discount if this is ongoing work. You could offer them a 10% discount or 15% discount, um, only with the sole condition that there will be a follow up with more projects. If not, you give him a fair price, ask him if he can afford it, try to settle a common agreement on the price. If everything is okay, then you thank him for the conversation. Um, you adapt the proposal, you resend it, they approve it, and you start the work. So it's pretty simple. Um, that's how you get a client to work with a client. But if you want a long-term relationship with a client, then you focus on a couple of basic principles. Principle number one is under promise and over deliver. This means if your client expects to receive the project in 10 days, you'll finish up in 9 days and send it to him. This means you're interested in providing quality work and being quick, fast, and productive on a project. Another principle is, of course, quality. Quality is very important. It's either you deliver quality or you don't deliver at all, in my opinion. Quality is what makes a difference between you and the other millions of freelancers out there. Um, Sometimes pricing can be a principle as well. If at first you're looking into getting more clients for a lower price, in the long run, you'd be looking at having good paying clients, so the price goes up. And of course, there's another principle, communication. Communication is very important. Always be in contact with your client and inform him of any changes. If you don't feel good today, just message him and tell him, hey, I'm having some personal issues here. Um, just communicate and be open and be honest. I mean, honesty has always helped me develop a really good client freelancer relationship. And in the long run, it proved to be an advantage for me instead of a weakness.
Yeah. And about the communication part, I think it is very important in building a long-term relationship, because you can, with a good communication, you can manage the client expectations. And I think this is crucial, because if you manage your client expectation, he will never have surprises. If he doesn't have surprises, this means he will always get what he expects. Still, if something gets wrong, and for example, you don't feel well at a certain point, which will impact with the timing of delivery, so you might be delivering late. Well, I definitely agree with you when you say talk to the client, tell him, because yes, you definitely build trust, but you manage his expectations. So he knows that for an uncontrollable and unmanageable problem, the delivery will be late. But it's better to know it immediately, so to know it well in advance, than to discover it at the last minute, because the client will have to manage expectations on his side, probably of his boss, probably of another client, or uh, um, whatever. But the point is, if you manage his expectation, he will never be mad at you. So I think this is a very good principle to build long-term relationship and to get beautiful reviews on the long run.
Exactly. And I think it's what I like to do is stay in contact with my clients. For example, um, have their social media profiles, email, WhatsApp, Skype ID, anything that could help me. So if I have something urgent, I could just record a message and tell him on WhatsApp, hey, actually, I'm having a bad day today, and I think there's gonna be some small delays in delivering your product or delivering the service, and I apologize. It's not something I can control. Just be honest about it.
Yeah,
But if you could ideally inform him 1, 2 days prior to the actual deadline, he would appreciate more. And even after 7 years of working online, I still have moments when I cannot meet the deadline. Even with the team, even it happens. You cannot control it all the time, and time is sensitive. So I've learned that in the long run, there's no such thing as I need it now. But if the client say I need it now, it means that I would appreciate if you could do it today or at latest tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah. So as long as you're open and honest, and you don't try to hide things or pretend something you're not. I think that to err is human. So it's okay. We all make mistakes. It's how we follow up on them and how we learn from them. That's what makes us grow as people and as professionals.
Yeah, definitely I agree. And there is also a point that I really liked in what you said before, which is when instead you approach a client for the first time, so you are getting in touch to him through an application, and you started like in your example referring to him with his name, hi John, and then you finish your application saying looking forward to hearing from you, this Roxana. So basically, I really like the fact that you add a personal touch to the way you relate with the client. You introduce the application with his name, you close the application with your name, so it gets personal. And I think this is a beautiful way to connect with people.
And like if the proposal is longer, you could end it up with looking forward, John. Best
Yeah,
regards, Roxanne.
yeah,
Because if you're actually pushing it right now, just trying to be more personal than before. But if the proposal is really short, like just a couple of sentences, you won't use it again. You won't use his name again because it sounds a bit forced. But if the proposal is longer, maybe one page, let's say 300 to 400 words, um, definitely use it again before ending the call to action.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's regarding long-term client management. Um, One of my favorite things to do, and a huge tip I'd love to share with everyone, is to include your client in the project management tool you're using. For example, if I use Trello,
mm,
I'm going to invite my client on that board, and so he knows what I'm working on, status, the report, people I collaborate with, pricing, everything. He has it there. It's easier than just exchanging emails on and off. So definitely use that. Invite your client to access the entire project management system you have for his project.
yeah. That's a very good idea. I think many freelancers are scared because they feel they don't want to be controlled. But I agree with you. Inviting the client, giving him to the tools and giving him visibility um, to the into the project management of the work he's paying for, enables the freelancer to build trust, and also enables the freelancer to manage client expectation always. And the client always knows in this way what to expect, when to expect it. So I think that's a very good technique.
Exactly. And in the long run, if the relationship is really nice with your client, he can become your business partner. He can become a person um, you talk to, like a mentor. I've had cases in which the client became a business partner, and it turned out to be a wonderful experience. I've had projects in which maybe he knew a bit more than I knew about the subject, so he taught me. You know, it's nice when this happens, and especially after when you've been working for the same with the same client for 3 4 years. It's important every once in a while to just um, revisit the pricing. Like after a year, you'd have an honest discussion with them and tell them to add more money to the hourly rate or to the project um, budget. This feels like you're not on standby. It feels like you're progressing as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, I have a really nice friendship with my clients. Um, if I go home, for example, and visit my parents in my hometown, I would send them a nice picture of my hometown, or I would ask them about their other businesses, or if they have children, I'd ask them about their families. Um, we are not robots, so the relationships we're building, even in business, they're human to human. It's very important to keep remembering that they're not just a source of money in the end.
Yeah, and this is what I think it is very important to realize, especially for us as online freelancers, because normal freelancers do meet their clients often. We do not. Also, because mainly because we often work with clients on the other part of the world, so we might never meet them in reality. So building a good relationship is more complicated to us, and having a personal touch in the application from the first moment we get to know him, and also, as you said, sending pictures, for example, is a very good idea to um, make yourself more human at his eyes. Still, it is very important to, I think, um, tackle the barrier of digital and still getting the humanity of the relationship going through.
Exactly. And it's even nicer when you get to be a digital nomad and travel the world, and you just happen to know one of your former clients or existing clients is there in the city, and you just send an email or give him a phone call and you meet up with them. That's an amazing feeling after working for years or months in a row on the project. But if you're not given that opportunity, at least every now and then open up a Skype conference and just um, brainstorm, ask them how they are. I don't know, show that you care, and that might actually do the difference.
Yeah, I think it is very important. You show that you basically care about their problem. It always happen to discuss about how to make a killer application, and one thing that amongst the other you have already went through, I think is very important is always considering that when a client is looking for us on an online marketplace, it means he needs to solve a problem. He needs to solve a certain problem. He doesn't have the skill, or he might not have the time. So he needs our skill to solve a certain problem. What we need to show then as a online freelancer is that we do care about this problem. We do care about solving that problem. That it is relevant to us at least as it is relevant to him. So caring about them, caring especially about their problems, makes us stand out in amongst most of our competitors.
Exactly. And I've had cases in which clients told me things about themselves or problems they have with their business, and that gave me a chance to think of a creative strategy to help them. So every aspect of their personal life impacts the business life, and when you share some of these aspects, it might help the freelancer understand better the weight of his role and be more serious. So that's a good practice. That's more like advice for the client.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um, these are my tips about long-term client management and how to get them and how to keep them close to you.
Okay. I just had one more question about the application when you were saying you need to demonstrate your skill. It's very good to support them with a good portfolio. Um, how much do you think it accounts to have a beautiful portfolio? How much do you think it is important to have it? shown on your profile, and if you could share some tips
Mhm.
about the portfolio.
Okay. So visual is very important, and we also see it in the marketing trends in 2015. The more visual they are, the more organized, and it's it's like a cake. A cake doesn't need to taste that good, but if it looks good, it will attract customers. People will buy it, you know.
Okay.
So treat your portfolio like a cake, even if you're not an experienced chef. um, if you make it stylish, if you present it in a way that sells, you're halfway there already. So if, for example, if you're a designer, um, create portfolio samples that showcase your ability to design, and not just, if you design a, I don't know, a bar, don't just put a bar there. Put a bar in a background and a bit of shading, and be an artist. If
Yeah.
you're a writer, um, organize your articles with maybe bigger title, subtitles, paragraphs, everything. If you're a programmer, show a piece of code that's colorful so people can distinguish between the languages you used or functions you used. If you're a marketer, showcase a strategy, maybe a Gantt diagram or anything that shows um, the start and the end of the project, and how much it grew, how your contribution affected the growth of a project, and so on.
Yeah. Um, I really think that it's very important to show the visual of your project. So showcasing in a beautiful and impactful way your project will always help, I think.
Yeah, and another thing that's important is how you brand yourself. For example, I don't know if you noticed, but I use the same image in all my accounts, my Twitter profile page, my Google Plus, LinkedIn, Facebook pages for my businesses. It's it's like a pattern that I use so people can identify me. It's like a business card. Um, I use that. I use my social media presence as a business card, so people know. Oh, okay. So I did business with her, and they know how to contact me now, and they can always reconnect with me.
Yeah.
So that's a good practice.
Yeah, I agree, and I actually use the same strategy. I have my profile picture is always the same. This helps the client to recognize the same pattern. Also, I think that the choice of the picture is very important. Um, there is the opportunity to test them sometimes, but I think that having a, a nice picture that shows your face um, with a nice smile, it always happen.
Always do
So
business with a smile.
yes,
Yeah, and I think it should communicate that it's friendly yet professional. So, so is your personality. Your personality is friendly yet professional.
yes, exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Not on my side. I'm okay.
Okay. So, if anyone has questions, your students or our viewers of this nice video, they could always access freelancerway.com, or just post the comments below in the YouTube section, and I will answer them anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maurizio. Keep in touch.
Bye.
Bye.